So hopefully that will happen. Hey everybody, I am really excited to show you my new frozen drink maker. So it looks like this. This part goes in the freezer. It's been in there since yesterday afternoon, and so I just took it out. You want to use something cold. I am going to use chocolate milk, and there is a fill line, and I'm having trouble seeing it. So let me see if I can tell. I'm not sure. I'm just going to stop there. Forgot to put my microphone on. Hopefully you guys could hear that. So I'm using just regular chocolate milk. You want whatever ingredients you use, you want them to be cold. And then of course your inner cup is going to have been in the freezer for pretty much a day, like 24 hours. So what you do is it's going to freeze your liquid, but you don't want it to freeze solid because you want to be able to eat it, right? So you use this little piece and you just kind of keep scraping the sides. I found the, oh, and you can start to feel it already, the icy stuff forming on the sides. So if you just keep scraping that while it is freezing, we'll talk about some of the things that you can use. Now, a lot of us want to make this because we're watching our calories, and you can certainly go buy an icy or something like that. It's just full of sugar, or even like a daiquiri or something like that. So you can make your own, but there are some caveats. So something like chocolate milk works really well. You can use fruit juices, or your own fruit puree. So this, I just picked some strawberries. That would be great. Puree up some fresh strawberries. You don't even have to add any sugar, and then you could do it in here for a nice slushy fruit slush. Or you could add some orange juice in there if you wanted to. You can do other fruit juices. You can do a mixture. You can do alcoholic drinks. So the caveat on the alcohol, and it comes with a little card to tell you what to do and what not to do. So it says up to 1 1/4 ounce of alcohol. So if you put too much in, it won't freeze up. Now, if you wanted to do something like more like a blizzard, where you had chunks of Reese's or any other kind of candy bar or something like that, you would want to do that after you get your liquid parts to the right consistency. So don't put a lot of big chunks of stuff in there. You can use natural sweeteners, not little packets of artificial sweeteners. So you could use honey, you could use agave nectar, or you could use syrup, like a maple syrup, a pure maple syrup. So natural things that are natural sugars. You can't really tell from in here, but I can feel it forming up on the sides. So you want to keep scraping while it's going. Other things you want to avoid, like we said, you could put alcohol, but not too much. You want to avoid just plain water, because that's just going to get it's going to freeze too solid and you won't be able to work with it. And that prohibition on water goes for both carbonated and, bottled water or any other kind of water. Okay. As we said, avoid artificial sweeteners. You also want to avoid warm things, because that's just going to warm the thing that you're trying to get cold. So if you wanted to do some kind of a frozen coffee drink, you would want to start with cooling down the coffee first. Put that in the fridge or the freezer and get it kind of cold before you start. Now, can you start to see it's starting to get chunky? All right, so I'm going to just keep on going with that for a few more minutes. And let's see what other words of wisdom I can tell you. So chocolate milk is one of the recommended things. Fruit juice. You can do carbonated beverages like Coca-Cola or something like that. Now, what I haven't experimented with or tried, I don't know if it will work with a diet soda. So I will have to try that out and let you know. but because it said avoid artificial sweeteners, I'm thinking maybe that won't do as well. If you do use a carbonated beverage, though, you want to not fill it up as high. So there is a fill line, and you want to keep it to that. But if you're using a carbonated beverage, do it maybe a 1/4 inch below that fill line. Okay, it's starting to get hard to work with here, so that's a good sign. I'm having to kind of really scrape the sides, because what's happening, of course, is that freezer piece is freezing up my liquid on contact. So you can see it's coming along. All right, so you're going to do that. We've been going about 5 minutes already, so it may take, depending on what you've got in there, if you've got alcohol and that kind of stuff, it might take a little longer. So I would say you're going to go for about 8 minutes, or it could be longer. Now, another thing that will make it go longer is, say I get this how I want it, then I'm going to, and I could start eating it now, while it's still going. But if I wanted to make another one and I didn't have 2 cups, I could pour this one into, an insulated cup or something, and I could do another batch. But because the freezer cup is already starting to warm up some, it's going to take it longer, significantly longer, to freeze up the second batch. And I would say you probably can't do more than 2 before you need to refreeze. Clean this out, make sure it's completely dry before you put it in the freezer. Another hint is when you're putting your cup in the freezer, you need to have it sitting up straight, because there's a liquid in there, right, that's going to be your freezing mechanism. So if you have it tilted to the side or upside down or something, it's not going to work as advertised, right? Okay, so set it up straight in there, let it freeze for 24 hours, and then add your liquid or fruit mixture, and look at that. How about that? So I'm very excited to have my first homemade Frosty.